Hello, everybody. On tonight's episode of Backseat Quarterbacks, I am joined by Darren and making his triumphant return, Marco Polo. Italian Greg, he's back. Still traveling. That's what he does now. But he's not traveling the Silk Road in 1200 to 1300 or whenever Marco Polo lived. He's traveling the great state of Idaho, sometimes Wyoming, sometimes the Great Plains of Montana. I think he's in Idaho right now, but wherever he may be, he might be in Albania. Who knows? We're going to be talking about Week 14. Just amazing game after amazing game. We talked about him a little before we just started. We highlighted 7 games out of a possible 14, and there's an 8th good one too. So, wow. I can't believe it. I'm excited to talk ball. This intro is short because of that. Without further ado, here is Darren. Greg, I want you to talk first. How was spaghetti for Thanksgiving?
The Getty was good, man. Getty was good. We had tortellini. We had Getty. We had some salmon. Salmon, which is, I think, the official
Native
fish of the natives. And yeah, we had a really good Thanksgiving. We were sad you couldn't make it up. I did pass you an invite again. And I know you were holed up in your lair watching football, and I respect that. And I hope you got a lot to be thankful for. After the day was done, I know maybe the Bengals screwed that up a little bit, but Darren, how was your Thanksgiving, sir?
It was good. I had a good Thanksgiving. I was in Wisconsin. It was chilly. We got a little bit of snow a couple days while I was out there, but it was good. Good. Some turkey, some mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes, all the fixings.
All the fixins for an American Thanksgiving. That's why I couldn't make it to Greg's. He said what he's eating. I said, you want me to dress like Columbus? I had a good Thanksgiving, but I ended the day a little heavier than I began the day, but my pockets were lighter. So the actual amount of weight I gained was quite substantial because I lost a lot of money. And as you know, I usually carry a lot of wads of cash day to day. So that all evaporated because of the Cincinnati Bengals. So,
hey, Sterling, what was your Thanksgiving dinner? Because I know you're kind of solo. What did you end up getting? Are you for real? Were they open?
Yeah, they were open. I got some Jack in the Box. I got some Jack in the Box. Some donuts in the morning. Beer.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I had a good time. It was a good day. So, you know, what can I say? Classic. Anyways, we're going to get started. I guess let's just go dive into Thursday night. The primetime games this week are awesome. Thursday night, Winter Leaf Town matchup. Detroit, Dallas, Big D versus Big D in Motown. The sitting right now, actually, before we start, I'm just going to do housekeeping because I didn't do it last week. Right now, I went last week 10-5-1. Darren went 8-7-1. Greg went 7-8-1. So pretty good weeks by all of us. We all won our best bet for the first time this year, which is congrats everybody for following our bets. You guys won a lot of money, I'm sure. And overall this season, I'm 94-96 with 2 pushes. Every one of us has 2 pushes. Darren, you're in second place, 97-93 with the 2 pushes. And Greg, 1 game lead over Darren, 4 game lead over me, 98-92. Or 98-92 with 2 pushes, of course. And so my best bet's 11-2. I think I've sealed the deal on that, which is I can't believe I'm 11-2 with that. And my gambling season has reflected that. Somehow I'm having the best year of my life doing that, and I can't believe it. So I'm sure this week is where I lose everything because I love the slate so much. There's so many teasable games, and we're going to talk about that now. So we're going to start with one of the teasable games where you could tease the Cowboys up to 9, which I think is pretty much a free line right there. But there is no such thing as a freebie in the NFL. So the Lions are 3-point favorites at home against the red-hot Dallas Cowboys. Amon-Ra is questionable, might be out. Had a pretty... why am I echoing right now? Who's screwing with this? Is that you, Greg? With their new doohickey over there? You get it on Black Friday deal? I think you got sold some nonsense. Amon-Ra might not play, but I would be wouldn't be shocked if he does. I think he might try to tough throw because this is a must-win game. And I'm kind of on the Cowboys here with how hot they're playing. It's an indoor game. They're kind of feel like the last few years Lions teams where the defense isn't really that good, but the run defense has been well improved since they added what's his name? The pass rusher from the Jets that I cannot come to terms with his name right now. Quentin Williams. There we go. I got it before you, so came to my brain. So my Alzheimer's did not kick in just yet, and I'm kind of on the Cowboys. I think they're going to win this game outright because I think they're a better team than Detroit. I think they got caught up in the early season, and it just feels to me like they're playing hot. They have the better quarterback. I think they have 2 top 5 receivers, and it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I feel like they're going to win in a high-scoring game. They have a better kicker. I like their defensive line, and I like what Dak's doing. I don't know if you listened to our last podcast, but I think Dak's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I do not think that of Jared Goff, and I'm all in. Jahmyr Gibbs could be a game wrecker, but I think they're going to be able to contain him a little bit, and it's going to have to be Goff has to win this. And has Goff ever won a game? Has he ever won the game himself? So that's why I'm on Dallas. I think they're going to win this game outright, and their playoff hopes live on, and it feels like this might be the crumbling down of Detroit where they missed their window. Greg, what say you?
Yeah, I'm joining you on Dallas. Jared Goff is one of those quarterbacks where it seems like everything has to be perfect for him. Like he's a total Goldilocks guy. If it's just a little too cold out, or the pass rush is a little too fast, or I just don't, anything that is just a little bit off for him, and it just is not going to be a good day. And I think that he's just going to have a hard time keeping up with Dak Prescott. I think he's the far superior quarterback in this game. And to get them at an underdog of 3 points, I think is an automatic take for me. I think Detroit is on the fade, and I think this is systematic. I don't think this is just this season. I think that we saw the peak last year, and it's continuing. And I'm just, it's all Green Bay. I think in this division, the Packers or the Chicago Bears may have something to say about that, but I think they're kind of fraudulent, honestly. And yeah, I'm excited for this game though. It's going to be a great Thursday night game. I'm really excited to watch it, and I think the Cowboys are on upset alert. Or sorry, the Lions are on upset alert. Darren, what do you say?
Yeah, no. As much as I would love to join you guys, I honestly would love to see Detroit start to fall. To me, this is kind of like where Dan Campbell lives. This is where he thrives, is when backs against the wall. I know they're favorites in this, but they're kind of turned back into like being the underdogs on the season. I guess they're on the outside looking in right now. They're in the hunt. This is when that ultra aggressive, go for it on 4th down. This is when it rallies the troops and gets the guys going. This is a game that they need to win. And I mean, that maybe there's something to be said for Dan Campbell's coaching style and his ultra aggressive, like how well does it work when you're, the hunted, you're not the hunter anymore. It's about being a little bit more about being a little bit more conservative and playing a little bit smarter of a game. And it's okay to take field goals. It's okay to punt, but right now they're not in that position. They're back in the position of they're on the outside looking in. They need to be ultra aggressive. I think the team is definitely going to rally for that. Amon-Ra is 100% going to give it his absolute best shot to play. I don't know how anybody would play, but he's insanely tough, and I feel like he'll probably take a ton of Toradol and a couple Percocets and get back out there. So I'm on the Lions here. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm super excited to watch it, but I'm going to take the Lions here just because they're kind of backed into a corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's you that's echoing, I think.
Am I echoing?
I don't know who it is. It's somebody, but it's all good. We'll figure that out. Somebody's doing some bullshit.
I have my mic off, just so I don't think it's me. But
okay, well, somebody here's operating under the pretenses of bullshit. The I don't mind that take. I don't mind it. I think the Lions are. I think we talked about this earlier, Darren, and Greg, you kind of mimicked a little bit of what we were going through too, where, yeah, last year seemed like the year for them, and then they got upset in that divisional round where where Jaden Daniels couldn't be stopped and they were getting every fourth down and they were gambling. They were doing the Dan Campbell against them. They did it all year and they were so successful on fourth down. But last year was, and that game especially, was like 4th and 6. We're just going to get every single 4th and 6. And the year before they should have beat San Francisco and they didn't. They had that huge lead and they lost that game. And it just feels like, yeah, if they don't win this one, if they don't make the playoffs this year, next year it's harder. It doesn't get easier. You kind of, it feels like you miss your window. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to win this game. Obviously, they are going to be very aggressive. They better make the good play calls. I mean, in that game against Green Bay, Jared Goff just missed Jameson Williams' hands on Thanksgiving, where Williams should have caught that ball, but it was a bad throw. And he should have led him a little more and probably was a touchdown. And that's how you win and lose in this league against good teams. And I think the margins are very slim against a team like Dallas, where they're probably going to score 30 points. And you know that going into it. Dan Campbell's going to gamble. He's going to play baccarat. He's going to play blackjack, and he's going to hit on 18. Sometimes you get a 3. Usually you don't. And especially with Jared Goff at QB. So I'm excited for this game. And I might actually skip tennis for this, Greg. I'm just saying I might have to tell Mr. Joe can't make this one.
Don't tell Joe you can't make it. Just get a black market sub. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting Patrick to come in for me. You got to find somebody that can come in. Yeah. Because you tell Joe you won't even be on schedule next week. I'm just saying.
You got your families. You're like in the old age must have really battled each other. I know for a fact that guy knows his lineage back to like Julius Caesar era. He has to, and he definitely knows your family better than you know your family. He looked your tree up because it's probably connected in some ways, and he's like, those scumbag Salinas. He hates you, dude.
It seems likely. Seems like I can't do anything right. I'm so nice to that guy too. I am so nice to that guy.
And he hears me just talk shit about Italians all the time, and he likes me. So he must be like, that guy really stands up for what he believes in. He appreciates it. And he's like, he must think that you don't like yourself, is what he probably thinks. He's a self-hating Italian. He doesn't think that I'm joking.
Yeah, probably.
No, sorry, Greg. I do love Italians, by the way.
I know you do.
The best cuisine in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
The next game we're going to talk about, we're just going to jump into it. We're going to talk about probably the other game of the week, Houston at Kansas City. Usually we wait till the end for the Sunday night game, but I thought, why not? We're just going to do the best games, then we're going to go to the worst. The Chiefs, this is another, I guess Houston can still make the playoffs if they lose this. It's hard for either team to make it, though, but if Kansas City loses this, they are going to be 3 games out of a wild card with 4 games left. So technically it's not over for them, but lights are flickering, and they haven't paid their bill for a few months, so they're about to be evicted from the playoff picture. I'm going to be honest. I think this is probably the team the Chiefs would want to play least in the AFC outside of maybe, my team right now. I don't think they match up well with New England either, but I think this team, Houston, hits so hard on defense. They play very physical. It's unreal. They play the hardest physical defense in football in the NFL by far. They're actually committing unnecessary roughness more than any other team. They get away with it. They won't get away with it here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of roughing the passers being called here because Mahomes will sell it, but they're going to blast Mahomes. They're going to hit Kelsey hard. They're going to hit hard. It's going to be a lower scoring game. 3.5 is all I'm going to be saying here. I'm going to take the Texans to cover 3.5. I think it's another field goal game if Kansas City does win, but I actually think the Texans are going to win this game in Kansas City. It's hard for me to say that with a straight face because it's CJ Stroud and I have no confidence in him, but I think this defense is unreal. I do not trust Kansas City's receivers. I think if you sack Mahomes on first or second down, the drive is over. And it's been shown in past seasons that's not how it is. He gets sacked, he's fine if he gets sacked. But this season, it has not been that way. He's not been able to get effective EPA on second or third down. And I just kind of feel like this season's just not it for the Chiefs. I know we still want to believe that it is in terms of it's hard to just count them out because Mahomes has been so good in these moments. But even on that Thanksgiving game, I had the Chiefs in money line. I had the Cowboys in teases, and I knew they were going to cover the tease in the second half. But it just felt to me they got that ball I think it was the fourth quarter, I think they were only down 1 score, and it was like, yep, here they come. The Chiefs are going to go tie this game up or win this game. And I think it was a 3-and-out immediately. And they don't have that juice and the touch anymore that they've had for the last half decade, it feels like. And I might be wrong. They might win the game, but I think they're going to win by 3 if they do. I don't think it's by 4 or a touchdown or 2 scores or anything like that. I just don't think they have the firepower. So I'm going to take the Texans, and I think the Texans might give them a little bull rush, huh? How do I like that?
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Texans too. I kind of wish Davis Mills was playing this game, to be fair, because I think he's ran that offense much better than CJ has this year. And that's bizarre to say, but Davis Mills kind of stepped up to another level in the few games that we've seen. But this game is really about the defense. The defense for the Texans is perhaps the best in the NFL. I mean, if it's not them, maybe Denver, but Denver didn't look that good the other night against Washington. I mean, they looked incredibly beatable, and they were beatable. I mean, they almost lost to Marcus Mariota. So I don't know. I think that the 3.5 is just too much here. If it were 3, I could maybe see taking Kansas City, but we've seen this again and again. We see this 3.5 every time with Kansas City, and it's just too far. I think you're right. I think Houston can win this game outright, and just force the team that they're playing to play the way that they want them to play. And that's what they've done all year long. They're low-scoring games. Houston can't put up a lot of points, but they're not going to give you a lot on the other side. So I'm taking Houston, and I would be shocked if Darren doesn't join me on this.
Well, I'm not going to leave you shocked, Greg, because I'm on Houston as well. This Houston team is absolutely insane. Like you said, Sterling, the violence that this team plays with is absolutely absurd. It's something that makes like old defensive coaches just smile. Like the hard hit every time. Like it's just like there's a swarming, gang tackle of guys on every ball carrier. They're punching the ball out. They're not punching the ball, they're punching ribs. They're just a violent team. Like, they toe that line of like, that was a little late. That was, it looked like he was maybe giving himself up, but they get away with it. And it's like their brand of football and it works for them. And I mean, Travis Kelce takes some of those hits. He's getting up there in age. He's not quite what he used to be. His health may be at risk this week. Like, I'm being serious. And the Chiefs' offensive line has not been a huge stronghold for him at all. And the Texans' front seven is probably the best in football. I mean, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are awesome. They're so good at rushing the passer. And I think that they're just going to have this Chiefs offense in absolute hell. So that hit that Jackson Dart took this weekend, that's going to be, I think, what Mahomes will be looking at as he scrambles down the sidelines. I don't think these Texans defenders care if he's out of bounds or what. So go out early, Mahomes. Slide very, very early.
There's a chance that there's a bounty gate happening with the Texans in the offseason that we get wind of with how hard they actually hit. They don't really toe the line. You say they toe the line, and now it's not really towing the line. They do hit dirty. They hit late. They do it. It's kind of how like the Jordan rules came into effect, where they were just hitting Michael Jordan every single time he went to the hoop, and so they wouldn't call the fouls every time. This is what they do every time for the Texans. They're just absolutely obliterating players, and it's smart. And it's not. They are the best defense. I think second. You said maybe the Broncos. I think second's probably Seattle, honestly. And if everybody's playing within the same rule set, probably Seattle's better. But no, the Texans play a different type of rules, and it's beneficial to them. I can really see Houston winning the Super Bowl this year if they're allowed to play within this context. I don't know if they could do it with Stroud, because I think Stroud tries to do too much. I think it has to be a Trent Dilfer-esque thing from Davis Mills, where they need to only score like 21 points and they can win. That's it. Yeah. 21 probably gets you most games with them. So I don't know. It's like I feel like Stroud just throws too many dumb turnovers. He makes too many mistakes on his side of the field. So they need to just be coaching to finish off drives in the red zone. is the big thing. Try to score 7, not 3. But whatever you do, do not turn the ball over in those situations, because that's key. Do not give the ball back when you have a scoring chance, and no turnovers. That's the number one. You just do not want to turn the ball over. Hey, thanks, Captain Obvious, but that's where you just don't want to give the ball away. So, yeah, I think we're all on the Texans here. I'm actually pretty surprised, but this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a really good game. I'm excited for this. Anything else? Nope, we move on. Another great game. I mean, these are in rapid succession. These are just coming at Roger Goodell. He needs. I don't often say this about very rich people. Give him a huge raise, double his pay, or whoever did the schedule. Give Goodell a raise. Give everybody a raise. The NFL makes money hand over fist. Bears at Packers. Another podcast said this. I think this might be the first Bears Packers game in my entire life that I actually think means anything. They play more than any other teams. It's considered the best rivalry in football. I've never cared about this rivalry in my life from the games meaning anything. It's been funny watching Brett Favre beat them. It's been funny watching Aaron Rodgers beat them. But now the Bears are in first place in the NFC, and not just the division, the conference, and the Packers are hot on their trail, and nobody believes the Bears are real. Nobody trusts them, even after they beat the Eagles. I know the Eagles are looking relatively stinky, but this is pretty funny to me that this is the first game I can remember in my life. Greg, you're a little older than us. If you can remember any games from between those two that have any relevancy to why this rivalry is so great, I think you might have to go back to the Lombardi days to really get good Bears-Packers games that meant something. That being said, the Packers... it's the Godfather thing. As soon as I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I'm like, I believe in the Packers again. Darren was sharing, I can only imagine, with penis in one hand, phone in the other, Jordan Love stats and highlights. I do that with Drake May all the time, so I feel it. I used to do it with Brady, now I'm doing it with May. But it's the idea is Jordan Love has been a top 5 quarterback. I mean, he has been, and he had another terrific game. And when he's on, he's been on. And I think this Bears defense is gettable. I trust Jordan Love here. I know I'm going to regret it because I think it's going to be, it could end up being closer than the final score indicates, or it's closer. The game will be more of a blowout than the final score indicates because it can end up backdoor covering. But I'm going to take the Packers to cover this at home. I think they're going to play much better. I don't trust this Bears team. Everybody said, look at the quarterbacks they beat and look at the teams they beat on their win streak. And then they beat the Eagles. And I say, look at the quarterbacks they beat, look at the teams they beat on their win streak. I continue to say that because I do not think that Eagles team is much of a team, regardless of their record and especially how they're playing. So give me the Packers here. And if I'm wrong, Darren, I'm moving Jordan Love out of there. And I don't ever want any highlights or messages about him yet again. Okay? Especially with cock in hand. You're gonna mess up one of these times. You're actually gonna flip the camera around and you're gonna be like, whoa! You're gonna say, hey, don't post that, please. I'm gonna say, hey, I want to have to post that. Greg, what you have here?
Yeah, I follow all your sentiments on Chicago. Going back to the previous eras, there's only a couple games that I can recall where Jay Cutler was on a hot streak. Believe it or not, he did have some good seasons. And there was a couple good games between the Chicago Bears and the Packers, but it's been a long time. It's been a very long time. And I don't think this is going to be a particularly good one, honestly. I think the Packers are just so outclassed of the Chicago Bear squad. The Chicago Bear luck dynamic this season has been completely off the charts. Their turnover luck is incredible. Their margin of victory is incredible. They're just kind of, they're much better this year under Johnson, but they're not good, and I think that they're going to get exposed. I still think it's a smart bet for Chicago to miss the playoffs, and they could sneak in, but I just don't think they're a real team, and I think that that's going to be very clear when they come up and play Green Bay. So yeah, I can only look to the Packers here. I'm back in on the Packers. They burned me plenty of times this season. They burned both of you guys, I know. But I think that they're getting hot at the right time of the year, and it's about time. It's about time. We've been waiting. Thank you for showing up, Green Bay. Darren, what do you got?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, going back to like big Bears Packers games, there's one that I honestly like remember. It was the year the Packers won the Super Bowl. They played the Bears in the NFC Championship. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. That's honestly the only one that I was like, okay, like this Bears team was that team was good. The Packers were really good. That was an incredible season. But I mean, outside of that, there's a couple here and there that were good, but I don't know. This week just feels big. It's December football, 2 playoff teams, Bears, Packers. The Packers are getting Jaden Reed back this week. The Bears are getting Jalen Johnson back this week. Both these teams seem to kind of be in their groove right now. I'm just super excited to watch this game, but I think the Packers are, again, a lot better than the Bears in a lot of positions. They're just better. I think the Bears finally have a net positive in terms of point differential. I think up until like a week or two ago, they were still like -3 in point differential, which is absurd I think they were like 7-3 at the time. So they're clearly winning on very slim margin. They feel a little reminiscent of the Commanders of last year, where it's like, this still doesn't smell right. Now, the Commanders obviously made it all the way to the NFC Championship, but I think a lot of that, again, was fourth down luck, it was turnover luck, and just the ball kind of bounced their way more times than not, and that's kind of what the Bears have experienced. I think the Packers are going to put a stop to all that on Sunday. I'm going to take the Packers to cover this. It's in Lambeau. It's a huge game. Both teams are going to be well rested. I think the Packers are going to come in and handle business. So give me the Packers.
You know, I was going to say, I'll give you the opportunity to give a better, more hyped up take if you'd like. I could delete that take and you can redo it. You could talk some more shit. You don't need to be seldom and humble. You could say like, talk some shit about Caleb Williams. Call him what you call him off the podcast, you know? Say what you think about Ben Johnson.
Get this podcast taken down? That's what you're saying?
No, yeah, we're all on the Packers, and they're not like last year's Washington Commanders at all. They're like the Vikings with Kirk Cousins when they made the playoffs, and they were 13-3 or whatever, and they had no chance. And likely, and the same team there, the Giants that beat them in the playoffs with Daniel Jones. I mean, this is just a pretender team. This is a team you want to play in the playoffs. You know who you don't want to play in the playoffs? Greg's Seahawks. That's a team where it's like, damn, even if you win, it's not going to be a fun game. Like that's a game where it's going to be a fist fight. Yeah. You don't want to play the Texans in the playoffs. Like those are teams where you might win but it's like you think you're going to beat the Bears. We're all in on the Packers. And it's Toyotathon, right? You always highlight that. Well,
it's Toyotathon. My favorite thing about the Toyotathon and Jordan Love is it just highlights he plays his best football at the end of the season. And what more could you ask for your quarterback than to really hit his stride at the end of the season? Nobody cares about September, October football. What are you doing for me in November, December, January? Jordan Love is dealing during those months. God, I love him. Dude, he's so good.
Can I see? Where's your hands right now? What's going on down there? Okay, whoa. Yeah, okay. We're all on the Packers, and I'm gonna say this right now. I'm oddly confident in all the games we've picked so far. I honestly think I'm 3 for 3. I know we've only had one disagreement with Darren saying the Lions in the game one. That's the least confident I am, but I feel good right now. I feel the analysis is hidden on these. I feel great about these picks so far, and that's not good. That's a terrible thing. Now I'm getting a little too big for my britches. Like another great one. It's preseason. You thought this would be one of the games of the year. I'm sure a lot of people were happy about this one. Bengals, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I can't wait to see what Joe Burrow's wearing. Greg, any guesses? You got anything coming in ideas?
I mean, it's definitely like a puffy jacket of some sort. I don't know what, but
Oh, he's
it'll be
outfit
puffy.
repeating?
It'll be puffy.
It's
He
Puffy
always
Jack.
has just the obnoxious jackets. That's all I know. That's all I know.
I saw on the app formerly known as Twitter today, them showing Joe Burrow do that spinning the ball before the playoff game against the Bills, and then throwing that doing the 360, and that's literally his biggest accomplishment. Is right there. That's his best accolade. And everything else. And I want him to be. I like Joe Burrow as far as it comes to being a quarterback. I want him to be successful. I just wish he was successful before he did all the other stuff. That's why I want him to win a Super Bowl before he does it. Same like with Mike Malone going by Michael. That's all I'm saying. I think I deleted that from the last pod, but if I did it, that's all I'm saying. This game's interesting because he looked pretty good in that game against the Ravens. He didn't have to do anything because the Ravens self-sabotaged, but he played fine. He played better than what we saw out of Flacco, and definitely what we saw out of Jake Browning, because Flacco was still, he's really unable to move at this point. He's able to get the ball to Jamar Chase, which is, I'm hoping every quarterback can do that, get the ball to good receivers. We see somebody in Minnesota, a couple quarterbacks there are unable to do that, which is funny, but Flacco still got that at least in him. But we have with Burrow a better quarterback. He's able to read defenses quicker, process better, has a better arm, all that. But with the Bills, that game against Pittsburgh, that first half was awful. And then Joey Bosa almost ended the life of our favorite anti-vaxxer, or I guess Greg and I's favorite anti-vaxxer. Darren, you're partial to RFK. And or has he got out of your good? Has he fallen out of your good graces after that poem? Are we going to talk about the poem? But yeah, Aaron Rodgers almost died last week. The guy that was the hardest I've ever seen it. He got hit way harder than Jackson Dart. He looked like he was in Home Alone. He looked like he was robbing that house.
It looked like it was out of a movie. That's like that's like something from the Longest Yard when they get hit. Where it's
it was
like kind of
unreal.
comical.
I don't even know how his nose started bleeding. He just was bleeding. Just started bleeding out of his face. He got an old man injury. That's a real old man injury. Okay. On this game, that totally flipped the Bills game. So this is why I'm kind of like, I don't know where I'm going here. I don't like this Bills team this year. It feels like the wins out of their sails too, and it feels like a restructuring of the league this season. Where, I mean, it happens where teams have 3-year windows. The Chiefs expanded theirs because Mahomes is that special. There's a lot of injuries to quarterbacks this year. There's a lot of bad quarterback play, but I don't know if I could take this Bengals defense to be able to put in a second good shift of work back to back, especially when they've been so bad for so long. Hendrickson's not playing again. I don't think he's going to play the rest of the year. There's no reason for him to. Be a free agent, spread your wings, go to a team that actually wants to have a confident defense. And I think Greg says it always so well, Josh the bully. If he's not able to put up 30 plus points on this Bengals defense, then this is where it's like cause for real concern for Buffalo. There is already concern, but this is where it's like somebody has to dial numbers and say, we need to get him divorced, because we need to get him into like, I only care about football. Lock in for the offseason. No offense to the wonderful great Haley Steinfeld. I'm just saying he needs to focus and lock in for next year if he's unable to get this done. Greg, what say you? I'm going Buffalo -5.5.
I'm going with the Buffalo Billies as well. I don't understand why this is under a touchdown, other than Buffalo has underperformed. But I think if you saw last week and the week before that, Buffalo's defense is starting to figure out a couple things and finally tighten up. And that's been the real difference this year. I think if you can get a little bit of confidence on that side of the ball and get that side just functioning, let alone playing at an elite level, it opens up everything for the defense, or sorry, for the offense. And I just think it's just, I don't know. The game against Pittsburgh didn't prove a whole lot with Josh, but they're playing better. They're playing cleaner. They still have no wide receiver threats. I mean, there's just nothing there. I'm surprised they didn't make a move to go get somebody that can augment that offense. But I think Josh the Bully's showing up at this one. I think he's showing up hard. I think Cincinnati. I don't know. It was fun to see Joe Burrow kind of ball out a little bit, but he looked gimpy and not completely there. And I don't know what that game really told us about the Bengals. I really don't. I mean, it's that was more about the Ravens to me. The Ravens are just a weird team. So I'm taking the Bills as well. I think we're all together so far, Sterling. So what could go wrong here? Darren, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the Bills as well. I think they're figuring it out. That second half against Pittsburgh, like they woke up, they found their groove, they did what they needed to do on offense. The defense played good. Maybe it's something, I don't know. I don't know how to rank, or I don't know what to take away from a game against Pittsburgh. I still don't know like how good is that team. Are they good? Are they stinky? What are they? So
they smell like shit, dude.
Yeah, and
like that one person we saw in Arizona that one time.
And the Bengals, like Joe Burrow, it's great to have him back. He's cool. He does his little fashion walks out before the game, take a couple cool pictures on the sidelines, make sure his hair is flowing nice for the cameras. I'm sure that's very important to him, and that's great. Joe Burrow doesn't play defense. That's the unfortunate truth. Joe Burrow does not play defense. If he did, him coming back might mean something more to this Bengals team. Unfortunately, he's replacing another Joe Flacco, who's honestly not that bad for a 40-year-old quarterback. He still has a rocket arm. Yes, he has some dumb plays, and he probably had the worst interception I've seen so far. No, Max Brosner, he has surpassed that Joe Flacco interception. So Joe Flacco doesn't have the worst interception anymore this year, but he had a bad one. He had a couple bad ones this year. It's just the thing with the Bengals. I don't trust that defense, and yeah, I just think the Bills are better. This Bengals team's bad. We need to stop acting like they're a good team because they went to the Super Bowl once 4 years ago. They're not good anymore.
Yeah, I mean their ownership. I really hope. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I hope the Cowboys saw what happens by paying Higgins and Jamar and take notes. And they have to trade CeeDee Lamb or move like I don't know how they do that in this sport, but with the cap, basically tender Pickens and then move them if that's what they want to do. If they want to keep CD, but they had to pick one of them. You can't pay both, so it would be malpractice under the cap.
Imagine if they did though, and then when the Bengals and Cowboys played each other, dude, that game would be awesome.
And I think the Bills, for Greg, I think the Bills did get Josh Allen some wide receiver help just recently. I might be mistaken, but didn't Brandon Cooks go there, or did Brandon Cooks sign somewhere else? I think he might be their missing piece. Don't you think? You're muted. Oh my God. You're still muted. This guy, man, technology is not his ace of spades. He's okay. He's now something's happening. I can unmute you. I unmuted you. Jesus Christ. Nope. Keep going. You're done. Nobody can hear you now. I muted you because you have a box. Okay, now we hear you.
I'm on now. Okay.
Now we hear you. Yeah.
I think you muted me first of all.
I did.
And then you say, "What an idiot! I can't hear him." Oh my God. Did Brandon Cooks? I didn't even know Brandon Cooks was still playing football. To be honest with you,
I didn't either.
And to be fair, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Adam Thielen requested his release from the mighty Minnesota Vikings. He's going to be joining the Pittsburgh Steelers for his final hurrah in the NFL. That's all the Pittsburgh needed was Adam Thielen.
Whoa, I just saw that. I'm looking at that right now because I was trying to find the stat I saw earlier about the Steelers, and the first thing I saw was that the Bills ran the same play 29 times against the Steelers.
Yeah, they did. It was...
and it was a Steve Brule reaction. What is that? I just saw.
What did they run?
They could not stop it. It was like a inside run kind of zone thing, and
They ran
they just
inside
did it
zone?
over and over and over and over and over.
The Packers have
Yeah.
done that, and then they looked like they lost games when they
Yeah.
went inside zone 29 times against the Carolina Panthers.
And then the other one I wanted to say about the Steelers, because we're going to talk about that game right away. We're all on Buffalo, we're all on Buffalo beating the Bengals. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Greg. I could bring the stat up when we talk the
No,
game.
you're good. That's all I had to say.
The other stats, so we're going to do Steelers Ravens now. The Ravens are 5.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Steelers. I'm just going to say that off the top. I don't like taking the Steelers. I will not bet this game, and I suggest every single person enjoy this game. Drink a beer, drink some milk, drink whatever beverage that you enjoy while you watch this game. Water, Diet Coke, anything. But don't put your money on this. You're better than this. There's other games to gamble on. There's 14 games, actually. You do not need to gamble on this one. This is one. Save your money. Whatever you bet on, it's going to happen the other way. I'm taking the Steelers to cover 5.5 because I watched the Ravens play football this year, and if they win this game, I'm not surprised. They might cover it. They might also lose this game. So I'm going to take the Steelers. But the Steelers stat I wanted to share was the Steelers haven't completed a downfield pass in over a month, 36 days. They're 0 for 13, so they've only attempted 13 passes of downfield, which is isn't downfield described as 10 plus yards, or is that 20 plus yards?
It might be 20.
I think it's 20. It better be 20. Okay. It better be 20. If it's it's 20 air yards downfield. Okay, so it's 20 air yards. So they have not completed a 20 air yard pass in over a month, 36 days. They're 0 for 13, 3 interceptions in the last 5 games on 20 plus air yard passes. Aaron Rodgers, of course, does not have a game for 250 plus passing yards this season. And he got brutally assaulted. I think he actually would have cause to sue Joey Bosa for that hit that he took. It'd be one of the rare ones where I think he'd actually be able to. Joey Bosa saw him and legit was like, "This is the end for my friend Aaron Rodgers here. I'm gonna absolutely jack him up." It's one of those hits that back in the day, ESPN would celebrate that, and you'd have everybody in succession be, "Aaron Rodgers, you got jacked up." And they'd all yell it, and they'd be like, "Oh, what?" And then you'd have Boomer going, "What hit Joey Bosa?" And they'd be like, "I don't know, Tom." It'd be so good. So instead, now we replace that with Mossed, which is still a good segment. There's a lot of good mossing this last week too. There's some great catches, but I do miss jacked up. I'll be honest. Don't show a guy's head don't show a guy in the fencing motion, but that Aaron Rodgers one, that's one where you could celebrate that hit.
Tua, you got jacked up.
Oh no.
They showed the kick returner or the punt returner yesterday for the Giants, where his the end got knocked off his helmet, and he needed help walking to the sideline. And they're just like, "You got Gunnar Olszewski," or "You got."
That's such a bad thing.
That's an amazing bit if there's a TikTok account or something that brings that back and just does the top 5 hits, and they use the Berman and all those people just using those voices for after the hit.
Yeah.
Top 5 hits of the week. Hey, you know what? Let's think about doing that. That's IP, by the way. In this game, I'm going Steelers. I don't have any confidence in them winning. Like Darren said, are they good or are they bad? They're bad, but they have a defense that still maintains some sort of credibility. These games are always close. Division rivals. Darren's favorite thing to say whenever he doesn't know what he's talking about in a game. He just always resorts back to that. It goes on auto-tune and autopilot. But that's a real thing in the AFC North. And I think that you could tell me that the Ravens won by 21. I'd believe it. You could tell me that the Steelers shut them out basically because I don't trust Lamar Jackson whatsoever this year, and I think it might be time for them to try to stealth trade him in the offseason. If not this season, but next season. Darren and I talked about that on the phone. We kind of talked about that at the beginning of the podcast last week. But yeah, Greg, what say you?
Can you hear me?
Yep. You're not. I didn't pull a prank on you this time.
I appreciate it. I think this is going to be such a grimy, like disgusting game, and I'm here for it. And I can't wait to watch whatever clips I get off of Red Zone on it. I might actually just get a dedicated feed off my little pirate laptop and watch this game, because it's going to be like 14 to probably 8 at the end of the day. And I couldn't tell you who's going to get the 14, couldn't tell you who's going to get the 8, but it's going to be one of the ugliest football games I've ever played in the NFL. And I know that Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there with his broken arm and his, bandaged up nose and, whatever else, other maladies he's got. That guy's as old as I am, and he's playing the NFL. And I give him credit. Like, I'm sitting here on a comfortable bed in a hotel, talking crap about this guy, and he's out there in the NFL risking his life. And honestly, when I see him out there, it's like further testament. I hate to glaze on this guy, but Tom Brady did this till he's 45, and he did it. I mean, he's winning Super Bowls right up to the year before he retired. I mean, it's actually unbelievable, and you're never going to see a guy like that again. Aaron Rodgers probably should have hung up last year. I can't see that, but I think they hang tight here, man. I'm sticking with you, Sterling. I can't get away from your picks this week, and I'm not trying to be simpatico with you, but I've got the same exact mindset on this. The Steelers are one of those ugly teams, and I know Tomlin, after getting booed and having to hear Renegade get booed in the third quarter, that never happens in Acrisure. You never see that. They're going to come out fighting in this one. I especially think the defense is going to show up. I think that defense is better than what the Ravens have right now. So I'm taking the Steelers. It's all Steelers for me, man. Darren, what you got?
I'm joining you guys on this one as well. So we're not differentiating from each other much, but again, I'm kind of in the same mindset. What have the Ravens done? Like, honestly, they've barely beat bad teams. They lost to the Bengals. Since Lamar's came back, he just doesn't look good. I don't know. He's clearly still hurt in some capacity. I don't know if it's still the hamstring or if the hamstring has now strained his hands and he can't hold on to the football anymore either. Something's going on with it, because he's like not playing good football at all. Yeah, I'm on the Steelers here. This is a game, not betting. I'm not touching this one way or another. I'm gonna take the Steelers though.
I said Darren sent a funny picture in the group, in a group chat that has Greg and I in it, and said this is Aaron Rodgers, and it was a picture of the character in SpongeBob that had a whole bunch of broken bones. And then I sent a picture of an individual that was inflicted with a couple of injuries, and I said this is more real. This looks like a more real interpretation of Aaron Rodgers, and it was a fella that had a couple of injuries. No big deal. Anyways, and Greg, I just want to say I will never ever say don't glaze Tom Brady. I just want to say in his age 44 year, I looked these stats up to make sure that I got this right. They went 13-4. He had 5,300 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. He did not win the MVP that year. He actually got robbed by Aaron Rodgers, and I do not ever want to hear anybody say that Matthew Stafford deserves the MVP this year over Drake May because of touchdowns and shit like that. Because we let a guy named Aaron Rodgers steal an MVP from an age 44 Tom Brady in 2021, and that season should be put in the that season might be the best season in the history of a professional sport. That's like right up there with like the Roy year, like 39-year-old A-Rod had 39 home runs or something. He was clearly taking juice. That's amazing. Lance Armstrong finished like third in the Tour de France when he came back. He was just blood doping out of his ass. He was just having shitty stools with all the drugs he was on. Now Brady might have been on something too. I don't know, but all I'm saying is nobody will ever do that. So keep preaching, Greg. Keep preaching.
Here's the thing about Brady.
Let's hear it.
Well, you mentioned with Josh Allen how he, he's more than a football player now. Brady, nothing more than a football player. He abandoned his family, his wife, his kids. I don't even know if they still talk to him at all anymore.
He's still with his family. He still has his kids. They were at the Michigan game. He posts them all the time. Don't. Hey, you know what, Giselle? She does her own thing. Never speak over the children though. He's good with the kids. The kids are good. They're all good relationships.
They'll grow up and they'll realize their dad was mostly absent, and that's fine. But their dad has 7. Nobody else does.
It's unbelievable.
You know what though? Let me speak to that a little bit, Darren. I know a couple of people I grew up with. Their dad was maybe, let's just say, a little too present. Like he wasn't actually out doing anything to earn an income. I think if you take, okay, hey, Brady's out there making a living. Okay, hey, I'm not going to be home every week, but I'm an NFL player. I'm going to be gone for 4 months out of the year, maybe a little bit longer if I'm in the postseason. I'm going to win that thing. I'm going to be home. You're going to have me for 7, 8 months. And I'm going to make sure you got a roof over your head. You got food on the table. I want to make sure you stay in the nicest hotels when we go on vacation. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brady was out there providing for his family, even though his wife was out there making more money than he was for many years. Giselle's on her own thing. I think, whatever. She's a European lady, or no, South American lady, South American lady, Italian.
No, she's Brazilian. She's from Brazil.
Oh, Brazilian. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But to be fair, Brady should have won the MVP. I totally agree with you, Sterling. No disrespect to the Packers or Aaron Rodgers, but he is a complete stat hound. He knows like what his completion percentage is, play by play, and Brady's out there trying to win the game. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady, yeah.
And I have a really good take about Brady and other athletes to do this. And this is one of my favorite things that Brady did. And it's not, I have no angle here. It's just something we were talking about it recently, one of my buddies and I. It's when Lane Kiffin took that job, he's like, I was praying, I prayed on it, and God told me I have to go to LSU. Well, you know what? And then athletes do it. It's like, I got to give all the thanks to the Heavenly Father up there. Or I don't think God cares if you win the Super Bowl or not. Brady never said that. He's like, yeah, I worked hard. Our team worked hard. And you have other people always going like, it's big man. Big man did this. You gotta say I did this. I'm the athlete here. Because guess what? Does he hate all these other teams? I don't think so. I think he would hate the Patriots. I guess God is not supposed to hate, right? But let's be real. He would not love the Patriots the way he loves them. But he does love Tom Brady. That's for sure. What say you, Darren? He doesn't love Aaron Rodgers, I'll tell you that much. Aaron Rodgers, especially with how he looks right now. Jesus, he looks...
Speaking to quarterbacks being married, Aaron Rodgers, since he has this new phantom wife, he's had his worst season of his career. So, should have stayed single.
Who is this woman?
Yeah, who is that actually? I haven't heard anything about this. I didn't even know he was married.
He just showed up to training camp with a wedding ring on. Nobody's ever...
Okay.
He's Manti Te'o in it. This is a serious...
He showed up with a wedding ring just like he showed up vaccinated, right? It's okay.
Maybe it's a promise ring, and it's a promise to himself to do his very best.
Maybe he's getting poems from RFK, and that's his life. How about that? Okay, we continue. All three of us on the Steelers. I like this. We're either gonna go. I know you guys heard me on you heard the footsteps behind you guys. I had the return last week, and you're like, we can't let him catch up. So you guys are trying to agree with me a little more. I like it. It's good. Colts Jags. Who knew? The Jaguars. We talk about a dead cat bounce, right, Greg?
That's right.
I still don't trust them as a living and breathing animal. I think even when I see Trevor Lawrence win games, I still think he's going to fuck it up. I'm going to diss Trevor Lawrence a lot, and then I'm going to pick the Jags. So I'm taking the Jacksonville here. It is a very, very, I'm not confident in this Jacksonville pick, but they're at home and they're underdogs. They're 1.5 point underdogs at home against a quarterback who has a broken leg and a fucked up calf. And I don't know how long this is going to last. They traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. They got to be worried because now he's out. He has a strained calf that looked terrible. It looked like an Achilles the way that he was walking gingerly off the field. he's not going to play the rest of the regular season at least, and that might be all the games they have left, because this is a team that could easily fall out of the playoff picture. And I think that Darren made this point, and I think he will not be mad at me giving the take for him, that if Jacksonville wins this game, Mahomes should show up to Sunday Night Football in a Trevor Lawrence jersey. And because this is really what they're watching. This is their one game that the Chiefs have their eye on. They have the tiebreaker over Indianapolis. This is a huge game for them. This game matters to the Kansas City. If the Colts win this, it's actually detrimental for Kansas City in a way, because this really has negative fallout. I actually think Jacksonville wins. I think the Colts are kind of on the downward trend we saw last week. They played close against Houston, but again, Jones, he's hurt. He's actually hurt. Would I be surprised if they blow out Jacksonville? No, I would not. I do not trust Lawrence. I'm just going to have to take the healthier team that's playing better football right now than Indianapolis. Give me Jacksonville as a home dog.
Yeah, I'm joining you again. I think Liam Cohen has figured out what to do with Trevor Lawrence, and that's just kind of take the ball out of his hands and have a really limited set of plays that we allow him to run a lot of rushing. That's all we're going to do. A lot of rushing. We're going to get Etienne out there, or Etienne. I don't know what the preferred pronunciation is. But
we'll learn in a few years.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, when he's close to retirement, you're it's actually Etienne. Etienne. And you say real emphasis on the T. But yeah, I don't know. I think that the Colts are fading quick here, and I think we're seeing the Daniel Jones that we knew and loved, and I think he's going to have a hard time in Jacksonville this week. Again, I agree with your sentiments, Sterling. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they came out and just blew the doors off of Jacksonville. But until I see some momentum out of that team, I'm gonna be on the sidelines and I'm gonna back the Jacksonville Jaguars. Darren, what do you got?
Yeah, the Jaguars are honestly like they're a true coin flip of a team. I have no idea what team is gonna show up each game. I'm gonna take them here as well. I'm on Jacksonville. Well, I hate it greatly, but their 12-year-old GM seems to have made a pretty good move at the trade deadline and getting Jacoby Myers, because he's been fantastic for this team. Like,
yeah,
fantastic. I mean, I know he's a good receiver, but he's kind of come in and just assumed wide receiver one for that team, and him and Lawrence seem to have really good chemistry already. I don't know. This team could win the division. Like, when they play to their potential, they're really good. They're good. They're a tough team to beat, but it's just getting that consistency from them and not having some of these horrendous interceptions and just dumb plays by Trevor Lawrence, and getting him to play at a good, consistent pace. And whether that means maybe just taking the ball out of his hands, like you said, Greg, and just, hey, we're going to run the ball, and that's how we're going to win games. And it's working so far. So I'm going to take him here. I think the Colts are a little banged up. I think they peaked way too early in the season. You never want to be playing incredible football in September. It just seems like those teams always fizzle out. You want to hit your stride later in the year, and I think the Colts might have fizzled out a little bit. So I'm on the Jags here.
Yeah, I can't believe we're all in Jacksonville here. That's amazing. And I always say that same thing, Darren. That's why I'm very happy when I don't want anybody to go back and listen to our post-game podcast after week 3. I was like, you don't want to be good weeks 1 through 3. I was so happy the Patriots turned the ball over 5 times against the Steelers and dropped to 1-2. They've been playing good ball ever since. Anybody want to talk about Drake May at all? There's one more good game, and then we're going to talk about the rest of them real quickly. Eagles at Chargers should be a good game. I think Herbert's paying homage to one of his favorite quarterbacks all time, Aaron Rodgers, said, I want to wear a cast too. So he broke his hand, got some surgery on his left, and he's going to be playing casted up. The Chargers are a team that I cannot figure out. I think coming into the year, they had legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. And those have fallen by the wayside to where they're a team where everybody wants to play in the playoffs. They're one of those teams, similar to I'm muting you, by the way, Greg. Just by the way, you got a little buzz going. You're just muted. I muted you. You're good. It's all good. But just so you know, we're simpatico, your favorite word. Good Italian word. Good Italian man. Real Italian man right there. I'm being my boy Joe, Uh, but the way I look at it is they lost their 2 linemen who are 2 of the top 5 at both their positions, especially Rashawn Slater. I mean, he didn't give up a single pressure last year, and Joe Alt's been the best right tackle also probably, and they don't have either, and it's been tough. But they play the Eagles, who are probably the biggest disappointment coming off a Super Bowl that in recent memory, where I think we talked ad nauseum about this, Darren, where it feels like you take the Super Bowl every year, but it feels like just a repeat of the Doug Peterson Eagles, where it's going to be about a 1.5-year slog where they're going to have to move on off of Sirianni, and then they're going to be good still because the roster is so good. I'm still scared of the Eagles in the playoffs if I'm an NFC team, because if they turn it on, their roster is unreal. You never know. It feels like they should change their team name to the Philadelphia Bears, because they're hibernating, it feels like. Can they do that? Could they keep the same team name as another NFL? Would that be allowed? Does anybody know the rules? They change it to the Grizzlies?
I'd say maybe Grizzlies.
That'd be so funny. Bears. That'd be so funny. Oh yeah, we're rebranding. But I don't know how to pick this game. I know there's probably going to be disagreement here because I think one of us is going to pick different than the other two, or we might all pick a tie. Can I pick a push? Is a push allowed to be picked? I'm gonna pick the Eagles. I think they're gonna beat the Chargers. I don't trust Herbert. I think he still might have the effects of anesthesia. I know it's a week ago, but I just don't trust the Chargers. They got after that blowout against Jacksonville. That was scary, and they did not look good against the Raiders, which is, I know they won that easily. That's not impressive enough. I want you to beat the Raiders by 20 plus points when you're playing them at this point. So, give me the Eagles. If the Eagles lose this game, they're actually going to miss the playoffs, and that's where we need to start betting that they miss the playoffs, because they're still going to get a nice little plus on that. So, give me Philly. Greg, you're muted still, by the way, just so you know. I'm just making sure you know this. I don't want to get my knees taken out. Okay, we're waiting for him. There. Oh, you almost got it. You unmuted and then muted immediately. Okay. You're back.
Am I good now?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, so this is an interesting game. I am completely unsure how Herbert comes back from surgery on his hand to play in the NFL. Like, this doesn't seem like an advisable situation to me, but I think he's been pretty mediocre all season, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like out on the field with that kind of mental thing in the back of your mind that I'm playing hurt. I've just had surgery like on Monday. Now I'm in an NFL game against the Eagles. The Eagles defense is no joke. I know that they haven't looked good for a couple weeks, maybe for a couple months, but they are going to be coming hard in this game. And I think that it's really difficult to, I'm sorry. I'm trying to walk the thin line where everything stays above board with you, certainly, but it's very difficult sometimes. You're always looking for the filth. And that's you. That's you. Okay.
I didn't say it.
That's you.
Hey,
I didn't
you
say
wash your mouth.
Okay.
Just open that hotel room. Go clean your mouth out.
Oh my God. I'm joining you on the Eagles. I can't get away from you this week. And I'm a long ways away from you, but we're heart to heart right now on this podcast with our picks. I think the Eagles are due. I keep saying it. I'm surprised it wasn't last week with Chicago. That game was super strange. I'm hearing the buzz again now too. I don't know what's going on.
I don't hear the buzz
weird. But is it better now?
Yeah, you sound good now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. I think that they're due. I think the Chargers are just a weird up and down team. They don't really have an identity yet. I think with Joe Alt out for the season, that's really affected how the offense develops play to play. And it's just too out there. I think Philadelphia knows more who they are, and this is a game they just know they got to get. So, Darren, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, even with Herbert can't take snaps under center, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that like the deal? Like he can't take under center snaps. And this team has kind of established themselves as like the past like 2-3 weeks that they've actually played fairly decently. They've established that they're clearly a run first team that doesn't work great out of shotgun. Like, I'll just be honest, like it's just not ideal. So are you gonna put in Trey Lance? Is that the answer? I think you're kind of between a rock and a hard place for the Chargers here. You want to keep running the ball. You don't want to, you know, have to play Trey Lance either. So what do you do? Do you run out of shotgun? Is Herbert going to throw the ball 45 times? And if that's the case, I can't pick them. So I'm on the Eagles as well. Again, we're kind of staying in lockstep this entire, like, outside of the very first game, I think is the only game we have any differing opinions on. And other than that, I think we're pretty tight across the board.
You know what? We're gonna have to figure out if Herbert's playing because I think they are gonna just throw the ball a ton. And if that's the case, we're gonna look at what his passing attempt prop is when it's available. That might be one of the plays right there because I think they're gonna start him. They're not going Trey Lance. I don't think they trust him. And by the way, why is he on the roster? It doesn't make sense why you'd pay guys millions of dollars that you are unwilling to play when your entire franchise, your billion-dollar franchise, and you're just risking this guy's health to. You're like, yeah, we got another guy that we also pay a couple $1 million to, but we don't trust him. The only way he's coming in is if the other guy's out in for the season, and that's the only way. And if he's in, our team's screwed. We're gonna lose games. So we're paying him millions of dollars to just look good on the sideline.
To tank for us if he ever has to go in.
I have a guy that can do that. Sitting right here. You guys don't want to win a football game? And he needs to look good on a sideline? I can wear a mustache. I can also shave this mustache. So Chargers, call me if you're looking for somebody to do that job next year. I'm available.
Facial hair is customizable.
Yeah, I can grow a terrible goatee also. So if you want him to look good, it's not good. I can get a hair transplant though. I know it pays well. I could go to an LA doctor for that. I don't need to go to Turkey. I can get a facial hair transplant.
I think your goatee would look better than whatever Justin Herbert can grow. He struggles with the facial.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, you'd be very surprised. You have not seen me with the bottom.
Nasty goatee as a backup quarterback. That'd be kind of cool. Just a nasty goatee. You're just sitting there with a ball cap on, a fitted ball cap too.
I'm also the shortest guy on the team by far.
You just look like you're
so funny. I'm just warming up out there. I can only throw the ball like 15 yards.
You have a baggy jersey.
My hands are small. I'm like, I come into the game immediately. I'm just throwing picks. I'd basically be the Minnesota Vikings quarterback from last week. That's what I would be.
Also, I wanted to say on that point, I don't think we can give Max Brosner the worst interception of the year. Okay. If we're just going week to week, the interception of the week last week was clearly to me Bo Nix making direct eye contact with Wagner and going. Bobby's like, if you throw it 2 feet over here, 2 feet over here, I'm not going to get it. But you just boom. Oh my God.
That's true. That one really frustrated me. And I guess if you're giving an interception, who's like Bosner, again, I don't even like that I know his name. I want to forget that name because we don't need to know that name. That's a name that pisses me off that I even know that it's real because it's a name that should be gone. And I'm just saying he's dishonored his family's name. Like, that sucks. Like, your family now will always be known as, like, he's never going to start another game. He's going to be out of the league probably. But my point being, he's also a big fan of the show, so I'm very sorry for what I'm saying about you and your family. But I think that, that Bo Nix pick was terrible, and it almost sent a shockwave down my spine because I realized my life flashed before my eyes because I realized if the Broncos lose that game, I may actually be homeless. So thank God I live to see and eat and breathe another week. So, by the way, for people that listen to that joke and know me personally, that are not my friends, that are my family and my mom's friends, that was a joke. Uh, okay. I think that's all the great games. Rams Cardinals. That counts. So this is the 8th game of the week. 8th best game of the week. Can you believe that? What a week we're having. The Rams, probably one of the most surprising results this season was last week losing to Carolina, and Bryce Young just turning on the I'm actually a good quarterback meter once every so often. He does that. I really still don't understand what Bryce Young is as a QB. I know that they're probably looking to get a new one, but it's going to be hard to upgrade because I think about 15 teams are. But I am looking at this game. The Rams are 8.5-point favorites at Arizona. I'm going to say first and foremost, that's a tease line. I will be teasing the Rams. There's one tease line here that's available right now in this week that we have not talked about yet that is basically Vegas saying, hey, we're going to give you one free leg and do with it as you wish and pair it with whatever you want. And we will talk about that game in a sec. But this is a game where I think it's also a free tease line. Arizona with Jacoby Brissett is in that echelon of where I actually want to watch these games. He's so much more fun than Kyler Murray, which is so funny because Kyler Murray plays football in a fun way where he scrambles around, has a cannon of an arm, and it just has resulted in nothing in his career. I don't know where he's going to be next year, maybe the Vikings, but Jacoby Brissett has been so good for this team they don't win, but they play entertaining games, and that's really what you want if you're a Cardinals fan. You know you're not going to win anything with Kyler. Just have fun. Just play good games, and this is what Jacoby's doing. The Rams are going to bounce back, and they're going to win this game pretty easily. I could see this being a blowout. I don't think they're going to bounce. I don't think they're going to stay down 2 weeks in a row. 8.5 seems like a good line. It's a divisional game on the road, but I'm going to take the Rams.
Yeah, it's a little rich for me. The 8.5 with spicy Jacoby coming in. I do hesitate to take this, but I think what you said about the comeback game after this Carolina letdown, which was such a strange game. Every game with Carolina seems to be just completely illogical and hard to figure out. But yeah, I think the Rams take this. I think they roll. I think they get back to, kind of the style they've been playing in. I think this is a 2-touchdown victory here. And I think Jacoby will make it probably more interesting than it should be. I think the back door is wide open for these guys. I think you're dead on the money with teasing this down to 2.5 while that's still available. But I'm gonna go with the Rams again, and I'm gonna put my money behind a team that's more complete, has a good D, has a better coach. Yeah, it's pretty easy math. Darren, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the Rams here. They lost a game that they probably felt like they should have won. Most people felt like they should have won. I just think teams in that situation, they bounce back way more locked in the following week. They're not. I don't think they're going to be caught slipping again, back-to-back weeks. I just don't see it. I think that the Rams are going to come out to sunny Arizona and handle business. Business trip for them, in and out. I'm going to take the Rams to cover this.
Greg, were you on the Rams or Cardinals?
I did a little misdirection there. I'm on the Rams.
Yeah, I saw. I thought there was misdirection. I was like,
I had to at least pretend like I'm gonna take somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're all okay. So there's going to be some disagreements here, I think. But first and foremost, there will not be here. If I'd be shocked, Seahawks Falcons. I saw this line. I immediately took all my free money that is available to me, which is not much. I said let's go. Seattle is 7.5-point favorites against Kirk Cousins, and I've seen Kirk Cousins play a few times this year, not by choice. It's been by injury to another quarterback, and we talk about all these bad quarterbacks in football, and Kirk Cousins makes more than all of them. He is very wealthy. His agent is I'm of the thought process that Kirk Cousins has done irreparable harm to the NFL Players Association, and the owners are going to use him as a poster child for why the players need to get paid less, or why contracts that are fully guaranteed or partially guaranteed need to be even less guaranteed. I think he's just a felon that is not going to be a felon for the fraud and the robbery that he's committed against multiple NFL franchises. That being said, he seems like a good guy. But in this game, this is going to be the start that says, okay, kind of think they shouldn't even use him anymore, because what are they doing? They lose to the Jets, and now they're going to get blown out by the Seahawks. Seahawks are a great football team. I think that goes without saying. The defense is their strong suit, but they also have the best receiver in the sport. So they're going to win this game quite easily, I think, and I would be shocked. I would be shocked if this is even... I can't believe 7.5. The Seahawks are not getting enough respect here. This should be way higher. I'm gonna tease it because you could get it down to one or to 1.5, and that's safer because there's a lot of good tease lines, and that's what I do. I make my bones teasing, king of the tease. So, but I'm gonna bet this. I'm gonna say the Seahawks. This is easy for me. Greg?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is, I think, proof of how far a firm handshake and a nice bright smile will take you. And it's taken him all the way into, the late 30s, making 300 million or whatever he has career. I don't even know how much that guy's made. Like, that's actually something I do want to know now, but it's way too much money. He had like a bunch of max contracts with the team in Washington, whatever their mascot was at the time. And he has continued to just cash big checks every single year. But Seahawks are going to murder this team. It's going to be over, I think, in the first half. They let Minnesota kind of hang around. Despite the 26-0 game, like that game was kind of close for the first half, and then they pulled away, and Sam Darnold didn't play too great. They got it done, but it was really on the back of the defense. Every single year the Seahawks go down to Atlanta, they murder the Falcons. I don't care. I don't care like how far back you go. I think we lost a playoff game there. It was an NFC wild card, I think, but I can't remember other than that. Every time they go down to Atlanta, we murder them, and they're going to do it here. You don't need to tease this one, Sterling. You just take
It was
this.
divisional because I remember Matt Bryant kicked the game-winning field goal with time expiring because I did not watch. I was in my garage because I was so happy. Okay. I was like, I'm not watching this because the luck of the Seahawks, he's going to miss this field goal. Because, I used to be a certified Seahawk hater. I watched in the garage, and my buddy said, he missed it, or he made it. And I was like, I started running around my house. I was celebrating. So.
All right. Yep. Well, I had a different reaction, but yeah, I watched that at the Spokane Club with my dad, and it was ugly game. But
you guys got thrown out, huh?
Dang near, man.
Statue, but then you're like, this statue's too nice. This is too nice of a statue outside the Spokane Club. We need to find a different statue. That. And then you went to Chief Gary and you took that statue out.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But yeah, I'm on the Seahawks. Darren, what are you thinking?
I am joining you. This Falcons team is horrible. They're a bad football team. The Seahawks, they're good. They're one of the 3 best teams, I think, in the NFC. They're a team that you definitely don't want to see in the playoffs. They're a team that you definitely, if you're Atlanta, you don't want to have them over. You don't want to host this game. You don't want to do this to your fans.
Can you pass? Can you just pass it? Can you say, we're good?
Yeah. Hey, we're good, guys. Don't even make the trip. We're tanking now at this point anyways. Let's just forfeit the game.
We'll give you a voucher for next year for the fans that wanted this. You get a Chick-fil-A sandwich on Monday and a voucher for a game next year. Preseason game of your choice.
Yeah. Free tacos. Free tacos to the home opener next year. I'm sorry, guys.
Outside the stadium, though.
Yeah. So, I'm on the Seahawks here. It's comical.
Okay. Yeah, we're all on the Seahawks. And by the way, you wanted that Kirk Cousins information. I got it for you. He has made $321 million, $321,692,254 in career earnings. I don't know how they got the $254, but yeah.
How many playoff games has Kirk won?
That I don't have in front of me, but I'm assuming one.
I think it is less than one.
Oh, less than one.
I think he's won one. I think he's won
one. Okay, maybe he's won one.
I'm gonna look this up too now. Now we're doing this right now.
I'm trying to remember which game he would have won.
He's played 5 games. He's played 5 games. He did win a playoff game in 2019 with the Vikings.
Okay.
Oh, they beat the Saints. I remember that. They sent Drew Brees packing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Minneapolis
and then they
Miracle
got blown out by San Francisco 27-10 the next game. So, yep. He has a playoff win against Drew Brees, so, you know. So $300 whatever million I said for one playoff win in a career, and that's called legal fraud. that's you can get a lot of money, like you said, firm handshake and a smile, and it makes me want to commit legal fraud. I don't know what I did wrong. We're all on Seattle, Tennessee at Cleveland. Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, against who should have been the number 1 overall pick, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders has been so good in these 2.5 games that he's played. I think he's averaging a negative EPA per play, the lowest in the league. Even lower than Bosner, I think is what it is. I think Bosner played a little better on an EPA per play basis last week. That takes into account every single play, and you divide it by the total amount of plays, if you didn't know. I don't know if it actually includes his game. I'm not positive because that would be shocking, but I know that it's lower than McCarthy's. So I know that it does include J.J. McCarthy in there. I'm picking the Tennessee Titans. I will not bet this, but I think Tennessee is going to win this game. I really think that this is just, it's kind of free to be gambling against Shedeur. I cannot continue to, Greg, you got annoyed with as much stuff that I sent about Sanders over this week, but he's not an NFL quarterback. Maybe with an offseason he can be. He took 4 seconds to throw the ball against San Francisco. They didn't blitz. So they blitzed once, but they were pressuring him on like 70% of snaps because he holds onto the ball forever. You can't do that in the NFL, especially if you're not fast. It's not like he was scrambling. He's not a fast scrambling quarterback. He's a pocket passer that just holds the ball forever. And I think Cam Ward's going to probably win this game. This is the one. It's hard to bet against Cleveland because of how good Myles Garrett is. He's unreal, but I do think Tennessee wins. So I'm going to take Tennessee to cover 3.5.
Okay, so it's 3.5. Cleveland's favored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland at home. It's based on the defense. You know, I'm a Shedeur believer. What can I say? I'm really not. I agree. He's a complete joke. When I hear him talk, I just hear his dad, except his dad actually backed up his words with insane talent. His dad was an incredible athlete. I've got nothing but respect for his father, but yeah, prime time, Neon Dion. I mean, he lived up to the hype. But his son, I'm sorry, he's a Nepo baby. I'm glad he had his shot. I'm glad he's had his opportunity, but he was not fully cooked. He's not ready for the NFL. You need to grab the clipboard and pray to God. Either the Browns hold you on or some other team takes a chance on you because you're not ready yet. And that's not your fault. The Browns are a horrible organization. It's probably the worst team you could go to as a young developing quarterback. But I'm still taking the Browns here, and it's based on the defense, and that defense is lights out at home. So, and Titans, I don't know. 4 points is not enough for me to take them. Darren, what do you got?
I think after Shedeur wins this one, he should give the LeBron Cleveland. This is for you. Winning a home game, I think that'd be awesome. No, I'm going to take the Browns here, not because of Shedeur, but because that defense is really good, and Myles Garrett seems like he might want 30 sacks. I don't know. I know he started writing 25 on his arm sleeve or his wrist tape or whatever as a reminder every single play. Which, if I'm a quarterback, that terrifies me. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about this every single play. I'm trying to get another sack. This Titans team's bad. They're so bad. So is this Cleveland team. I mean,
matchup.
Yeah, this is. I've already talked too long about this. I'm taking the Browns. The defense is better.
I do like Dylan Gabriel's fiance being so confident that her husband or her future husband is going to have a spot on this team or in the NFL next year. That she said, "Browns lose again. What's new?" And then was in the comments saying, "Everybody on the team wants my fiance to start." That's just insane. Like he's barely in the league too. He's been terrible. He's all, like he's going to be out the league. I'd be like, "What are you doing, woman?" God, that's Commanders at Vikings. Vikings are favored in this game. I cannot understand that for the life of me. What? When I didn't even notice when I wrote this down. Did I get this line wrong? Am I
Nope.
incorrect? Okay, Commanders are going to win. I don't care if it's Mariota or Jaden Daniels' son. I'm going to go with the commies. How do you like that one, Darren? I know you appreciate that one, huh?
That was a good one.
Well, Greg, what do you have?
Yeah, it's the wrong team favorite here. This is a joke line. I mean, we saw the fight that Washington still has in them. I honestly hope it's Marcus Mariota and we don't have to see Jaden Daniels go out there and get hurt. He shouldn't be playing for the rest of the year. I think that's just such a liability for that franchise. I think, you would hope that there'd be some legacy knowledge from RG3 and what happened there, but clearly not. Clearly not. But yeah, I'm taking the underdog here, the slight underdog. I think they're the better team. I think they're more complete and they're feisty. They're clearly playing for some momentum or something for next year. Maybe they're playing for roster spots. I don't know, but I really like what I saw out of them against Denver and one of the best defenses I think in the league. So yeah, I can only take the underdog here. Darren?
Yep. Joining you on the commies. The Vikings don't have a serious quarterback. Like, I know we joked about some of these other teams like the Browns and stuff. Like, the Vikings actually don't have a serious quarterback between Brosner and 9. So I'm gonna take the commies here.
I would say the Browns are in the same situation as the Vikings. I do not want to say
quarterback
room. They have the same quarterback rooms, except at least McCarthy has some athletic ability. That's all I'm going to say. He has at least some where it's like, give him an offseason. They need to move on.
Sean Watson's in that Browns quarterback room. Don't you forget it.
Oh, I try to. I try to forget about the heinous things he's done every day of my life. Jeez Louise, I forgot all about him, actually. I did forget about it. Dolphins and Jets. The Dolphins are 3-point favorites on the Red Hot Jets, coming off that big win against Kirk Cousins. And you said the RG3 thing in the last game, by the way, Greg. The big winner of RG3 trying to come back too fast was Kirk Cousins, actually. He got the opportunity. He stepped up. Marcus Mariota is also stepping up. He might get paid $350 million by someone. Probably not an NFL team, but, who knows? Maybe he's gearing up to make a run for office or something. He lives in DC. Who knows? There's more to that joke. I'm good. But Dolphins and Jets. The Dolphins are fine. Like, they're actually a better team than I thought they were gonna be after it seemed like they were firing everybody. Tyreek got hurt. I jumped to conclusions too quickly in terms of what I think of an NFL team, and I have to remember the season's long. Dolphins are a fine team. They're average, mediocre. You don't want to be there when you had Super Bowl aspirations a few years ago, but they're better than the Jets. So give me Miami.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami too. I think they're the better team here, and getting them under a field goal, I think that's easy money. They're not a great team, but the Jets are just. I mean, I think they're packing it in for next year. I really just don't see them putting up a whole lot of fight down the stretch if they're smart. I'm not going to say the Jets organization is smart, but I think the Dolphins are actually going to go out there and try to win this game. And if it's above 45 degrees, I think that those Miami warm weather people can put together a football game here. What do you think, Darren?
I'm actually on the Jets here. This team seems to be playing well together. Tyrod Taylor seems to kind of be quarterbacking better, definitely a lot better than what Justin Fields was doing. A.D. Mitchell is. Do you know if he scored his first NFL touchdown? That was his first one.
Yeah,
last Sunday.
Congrats.
I thought he. Yeah, I thought he had scored prior to that, but apparently not. No, I just think this Jets team is coming along nicely. I think that they're in a good spot. I don't love this pick, but I'm gonna take the Jets, keep it within a field goal.
The good news for the Jets is that they have. Oh no, they signed Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million deal, and his cap hit's actually $23 million next year. So, and they don't have an out, so they can cut him, and it's a $22 million dead cap. So they kind of are stuck with him next year as well.
Yeah.
Good signing, Jets. Okay. We're two of us are on Miami, one's on the Jets. Saints Bucks minus 8.5. I don't have much to say about this. I'm gonna go Bucks. Think they're a much better team. The Saints are, like you said, packing it in. I know they played close against Miami, but that's about it. I like the Bucks here.
Yeah, it's Bucks 8.5. It's just I don't know how Tyler Shuck. I don't know. Baker Mayfield, he's had a little bit of a lull, but I think he's coming back. You got Bucky Irving coming in, looking great off of his extended absence. And I just think that the Bucks at home are a tough out, and this isn't the team to get that out at all. So, Darren, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on the Bucks as well. They're just a much better team. So I don't. Again, not much to say on this one. They're just a much better team.
You can put a couple bucks on it that they'll win this game. Broncos at Raiders. I mean, this line doesn't really make much sense. It's a divisional game. That's probably the only reason, and they're on the road. But it's about a 45-minute plane ride, and I mean, the Broncos are 5.5-point favorites at Vegas. I think the offensive line. Am I wrong? I said 5.5. What is it?
I got 7.5.
I got 7.5.
Oh, it's 5.5 this morning. So that I wrote these this morning. So okay, 7.5. We'll go 7. I mean, 7.5. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I wish it was 5.5. It should be higher than 7.5 too. Well, I just found my teas. Here we go. Seahawks Broncos. I guess is what we're gonna be putting mortgages on. You guys have any? Greg, can I borrow a couple $100,000?
Not for Seahawks Broncos. If you want to do Seahawks Rams, I'll lend you some money. But
Okay.
I am so off the Broncos for life, dude. Well, at least this season. I don't know if you
Okay.
learned anything from Sunday Night Football, but
I'll have to go to some other people for that one. But Seahawks,
okay.
I'll take you up on that. A couple $100,000. That's cool. Seahawks Rams.
For sure.
That would make me so funny if I did if I actually took out a loan for the Seahawks Rams and then the Rams lose to Jacoby Brissett. Man, I'd have to go attack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on this game. I don't care what the line is. I know you're less confident in the Broncos than I am, but the Broncos are gonna just. I think the offensive line is actually trying to get Geno Smith killed. I don't think they care about him. They hate him. I think he did the. You can write him off. It's a way to write him off. I hope they win. I hope the Broncos lose this game, and then he does one of those things though after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still here."
Yeah, I think that the word on Geno is just. It's so sad to see him act this way. Like, I'm just disappointed in him. I used to root for this guy. I was never a huge Geno believer, but he had a couple of really interesting seasons, and he rejuvenated his career in Seattle. And to see him reunite with Pete Carroll and have it just completely go in the tubes, and just the clip on the internet of him coming off the field, flipping off his own fans. You don't get much lower than that as an NFL quarterback. I don't know if you can come back from that. And I think we're all understanding why he ended up getting punched in the face by his own teammate. He's just that kind of guy. And I don't think it ever went away. I think there was moments where it lulled and he became a different guy for a little bit. But man, bad Geno is bad, and bad Geno's back. And I'm on the Broncos here. I'm not going to bet this game. The Broncos are too scary for me. I could see this game for some reason ending up on a field goal or, some weird thing. But the Raiders are a bad team. They're so bad. They should lose this by 3 touchdowns. Darren, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the Broncos as well. I know I always talk about divisional home dogs. That just is kind of out the window this week. I've picked against a lot of these divisional home dogs, and the Raiders are another one that I'm picking against. They're too stinky. I can't do it. They're just not good. They're not a good football team. I think they might actually be the worst football team in the NFL. They're just in complete disarray. They have no direction. They have nothing going for them. I don't see really any outside, I guess, of Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, but like those are two individual players. They have nothing really trending for them at all, even going into the offseason, which is a pretty bad spot to be in. I don't think Pete Carroll will be there next year. They're going to completely overhaul the coaching staff. I mean, why would he want to be? I think it'll be like a mutual parting of ways. You don't think so?
No, he would have left already. He would have been fired midseason. It would have been like, yeah, I'm gone. He's gonna be
There's
there.
no way coaching this team is fun. And he's 70-something years old. Is he really going to do an entire rebuild? Like,
he'll be there next year. That'll be his last year, I think, but he'll be there next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Greg, what you watching down there, by
Raiders
the
are
way?
smart, they'd just move off
You
of him
watching Fast
because
and Furious? Fast 10? What you watching, Greg?
I'm watching USC Oregon college basketball.
Look, I mean, that's how I react when I'm watching Fast 10. Some of them.
I'm also texting with Hannah, plans for the weekend. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I'm multitasking.
What you doing this weekend? What you got going on?
Oh man, we got some big stuff in the Selena household. We're going to the big dinosaur exhibit thing that's in town. I'm sure you already got your tickets.
No, I don't got my tickets there. You're seeing Wicked 2, I heard, for the like 6th time.
We're going to the dinosaur thing. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. And then it's my little sister's birthday, so doing that. What do you got going on this weekend, Sterling?
I'm watching football.
Well, I'm doing that too. I've got to cram this in. Darren, what are your weekend plans? We're getting to that part of the podcast.
Natalie has her company's Christmas dinner on Friday. Then I got a birthday party to go to on Saturday and football on Sunday. So
there you go.
Jam packed. I could see Greg asking each friend he has individually if they want to go see Wicked, so we could go see it a couple different times.
Oh, you should see our text. He keeps asking, come on, Wicked 2 is a cool movie. It's a fun time for all.
No, but not telling people he's already seen it. Like, hey, you want to go see this? It looks interesting. I'd be willing to go check it out with you. You just ask.
I want to be fully honest with you. I'm not trying to be cool here. I have not seen the first Wicked, so I cannot.
I mean, that's so cool. That's actually really cool.
I don't think that's cool. I just haven't seen the first one. My wife watched it on the plane one time, but I was watching something else.
How many times have you seen Hamilton?
I've seen that a lot. Are we talking in person or like the Disney Plus version?
Either or, both and.
I've seen it in person twice, and I've seen it on Disney Plus probably like 5 or 6 times. And that's a lot. That's like 3 hours plus.
You sicken me. You know that?
Sterling's getting pissed off right now.
I know.
Ugh.
I don't mean to be so disgusting. I don't mean to be so disgusting, but this is who I am.
What's our best bets? Let's do best bets, and then let's get out of here before I start singing.
I got a good one for this week.
Okay, my best bet. I guess I would go first because 11-2. I'm very happy about that, and I want to keep this going. 11-2. I can't bet on the Patriots though. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's a dangerous game now.
Are you rhyming? Are you dropping bars here?
I'm trying to do Hamilton. So.
I like that so much.
My actual best bet is gonna be. I think I'm gonna do something simple here. I've been doing a lot of teases. It's gonna be another tease. I'm gonna put the Seahawks in there because I've been. Actually, I'm not teasing the Seahawks. I'm just gonna do Seahawks minus 7.5. Just gonna go straight across.
You're stealing my thunder.
Okay, fine. I'll do a tease. Seahawks. I'll do a Seahawks tease with the Broncos because you say you don't want to trust the Broncos. And I say I trust Bo Nix with all my heart and all my money because I trust him with a lot of money this weekend, and he almost ruined my life.
Yeah, he's horrible. He's horrible, dude. Don't do that. I'm just taking mine. Seahawks. What is it? Minus 7.
7.5.
7.5. Yeah, I'll take it.
Thought we were gonna win by a touchdown.
No, that half point doesn't scare me.
I'm taking the Cowboys Lions over 54.5. I know it's a Thursday night game, but it's not a
Whoa.
traditional Thursday night game. Both these teams have a full week of rest. They both play on Thanksgiving. So there's no like short week or weirdness that I really feel like normally goes into a Thursday game. So I'm hoping for some fireworks.
Every Thursday night game's a normal Thursday night game. Even the Thanksgiving ones, they're all worrisome. You always got to be scared of those games, Darren. I just got to get. You're a little younger than. Hey, boy, you're a little younger than myself and Greg here. You got to understand.
Well, I mean,
every
I was
Thursday game.
still very, very aware when they started doing Thursday night games. It's not a super old NFL tradition.
You were just a young little tot. You were a young little boy. Just a little boy when that started going. In hand-to-hand combat. But he also knows, but now he's in his normal body and he knows how to do BJs. Is that what you call it in the communities? In the community?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it in the jiu-jitsu community? BJs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate you.
You're muted right now, Greg. What are you saying? I didn't hear you. God, the buzz is back. This is a good way to end the podcast. Jesus Christ. My goodness, Greg. Where'd you get this box from? Yeah, we hear you.
I don't know, dude. You can hear me? The little USB thing came out. It's sitting on my bed here. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
I gotta go to sleep, man. I'm tired. I've been on a plane, traveling.
Yeah, you're a globetrotter. You'll be used to the flights. You keep this globetrotting thing up. You keep Gulliver's Travels. Thank you to you both. Have a good one. Happy whatever we got going on. Happy days ahead. Happy football. Love this week. This is a great week of football. Let's go, baby. Woo!